bing, bada boom. Mr. Worldwide is in the room. It is November 19th. We're quickly approaching the greatest holiday in the world, Thanksgiving. Shout out to the Pilgrims and the Indians. Kissing. There was definitely some kissing. Pocahontas was about kissing.
Something like that.
Pocahontas was a love story, Cameron. Let's just start there. What do you know about Pocahontas?
Not much. I honestly, one of my lesser favorite Disney movies. But I know there is some kissing. There's a little romance. It's a Disney movie. But I think there's a deeper meaning. I think there's a deeper white people colonizing Native Americans.
Thanksgiving. I don't know if it was in Pocahontas. I really don't. But Thanksgiving's around the corner. This week, though, it was a great preparation to what is going to be a intense end of the year for a lot of these NFL teams. There's so many teams that are still in the hunt right now. And there's divisions that have the possibility, that AFC North has the possibility of getting all four teams into the playoffs. I definitely don't need that to happen. And I don't think it's going to happen. And I'm going to lay out why it's not going to happen throughout this show. We'll start off, though, with Thursday Night Football. Ravens 34, Bengals 20. All the people that put Joe Burrow on this pedestal of, oh, my God, injuries will not hurt this guy. He's on his way back. Jamar Chase is looking good. He's got his weapons. We were fooled. We were fooled by an entire medical staff that thought it was a good idea to put Joe Burrow in a spot where when he is not healthy, he was still playing the most difficult position, or one of the most difficult positions to play in all of sports, which is the quarterback position. And it was at the beginning of the season with his calf. He was not ready to come back. He did not miss a game. Then it's like, okay, his calf's fine. All of a sudden, now he's got a little shoulder injury. Everything is just starting to hurt in his throwing arm. And it's like, okay, why? Why did we continue to put this guy in a position where he needs to play hurt? Now, this is the biggest difference between the NFL and the NBA. The NBA, if Joe Burrow was given a fucking bag over the summer, which he was, he would not have been playing earlier on in the season. He would have been well rested up until the point of recovery, similar to what they're doing with Justin Jefferson. Look at Zion Williamson. It's the perfect comparison. Young superstar coming out of college. Everybody knows he's going to be the next big thing. In the NFL, though, you got to prove yourself week in and week out, and you got to be a leader of men, and you don't want to seem like a pussy. That's the issue. And Joe Burrow, I don't know if it was him being Mr. Macho Man, I'm going to lead the team, or if it was the medical staff that was like, I want to win games. Like, I want to see the Bengals be competitive. It was fun being in the Super Bowl. I want to do that. I want to go back and I want to do that again. And the only way we could do that is if we have Joe Burrow playing. And that sucks. It sucks a little bit. For Bengals fans, it's going to suck a lot of bit because when you play through injuries and you don't let them heal all the way, they start to fucking stack up even faster. And then before you know it, like Joe Burrow's entire career kind of becomes a what if. Now he's going to take this whole the rest of the season off. I pray to God.
You think?
I hope he does.
So you think they're completely out of contention for Super Bowl?
They're done. They're done. We were fooled. We were very fooled. The team that is not fooling us, though, is the Ravens. They are for real. They dominated that game, and they saw an opportunity once Burrow was out to fucking put their foot on their throats, and they did. And now the million-dollar question. Is Joe Burrow going to be back to 100% at the start of next season? And are you okay with that, Bengals fans, like giving this year up? It's actually a $50 million question, close to $200 million question, because although he can opt out after a certain amount of time, this is your franchise and you want him to be good. That is the biggest news that we got going from Thursday now into Sunday morning. There is no more games that are being played out of the country, from my understanding. So we didn't have like an early Germany game or Europe game this week. But the first game that I will talk about, though, is the Cowboys 33, Panthers 10. Daron Bland in this game, I witnessed it happen. I watched it live. Got his 4th pick 6 of the season. This puts him in a very, very rare company. Eric Dickerson and 2 other corners have been the only ones to do this. Man, that Cowboys team, they not only do they take advantage of the opportunities that are presented to them, but when you get your defense to score the way that they've been scoring, it just makes everything on the offensive side all the easier. You're not having to waste reps. You're getting to use Tony Pollard a little bit more, which the Cowboys need to start getting him like playoff ready. I mean, the dude had one. I don't even know if they counted it a touchdown today, but his last touchdown was week 1, and then he almost scored a touchdown today. I'm almost certain he did. I just didn't finish watching that, but the Cowboys need to get Tony Pollard going. Their defense doing incredible things. They took care of business today. I wasn't worried about it. This is a game I've seen plenty of times in my life where the Carolina Panthers, at this moment in time, they have to decide, do I go with another quarterback? Is Bryce Young it, or are we just not giving him the weapons? Because when you see what is going on in Houston, and you could have had CJ Stroud, the conversations just go, because it's such an important position that you should be willing to take another one in the first round, like take another fucking stud quarterback. There is going to be a lot of them in this upcoming draft, at least from my perspective. And I think they will have the ability to get some of those high caliber quarterbacks. They're just not good. The Carolina Panthers, the only times that they score are when things are given to them, meaning they're getting their fucking ass kicked and the defense is no longer down their throat. Like when a defense turns it on the Panthers, it's very evident that they are not a good team. And that's that. So on to the next game, though, from the Sunday slate. Cowboys, they're definitely for real. I think people got to start putting some respect on the Cowboys' name because they'll be there at the end. The next game, though, is a team that everybody needs to put some motherfucking respect on their name, and that is Lions 31, Bears 26. The only bad thing about the Lions play a break, don't bend defense. Typically, Cameron, people play a bend, don't break defense. But the Lions love giving up big plays. So they break all the time. It's a really, 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 really bad defense. I just don't know how else to put it. They send pressures. When they send pressures, their corners and their safeties aren't good enough to make plays in one-on-one situations. They're going to need to score 30 points in every playoff game to make it to the Super Bowl. Is it possible? Yeah, they definitely can. But in this game, they were down late, down 2 touchdowns late, and then, boom. The Bears are now the new Lions. The Lions are moving past their shitty losing ways.
Ooh.
It's good. Yeah. It's a beautiful sign to see. But they snuck one out here today. This is definitely one that we watched Barstool Sports Advisors, and Stu Feiner had picked the Bears plus 6.5, and that covered. That covered today. The Bears.
Well, I think the line at the time was when we put
7?
the bets in. No, 5.5.
5.5. I think he got him at 7, from what I remember on the show.
Wow.
But whatever. if the Lions had a just sliver of better defense, they would be embarrassing teams. Their defense is having to play way too much. That's kind of like the downside to having a high-powered offense is that your defense, long drive, they get scored on. Then your offense is just so good that they're like, bang,
Boom, boom,
bang,
boom.
bang.
Yeah.
And your defense is already back out on the field. And it's like, you got to find that balance. You got to run the ball. You got to be explosive, but not too explosive. There is such a thing, though. I mean, like, they just
perfect
can't keep up. Every time you see the Lions play, take the fucking over. I bet the
No,
Lions
yeah.
over is hit like 80% of the time this year.
That's what I try to do. I usually always take a Lions over, and it most of the time hits. Most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, they give up. They
Except
fucking
I think
they
for
score.
last week,
They're going to
last
score
week.
30. Their other team's going to score more than 24 points. That is a fucking lock.
It's a high-scoring game.
I'm excited though where the Lions are headed. They got a very favorable schedule heading down the road. I like it. That's all I'm going to say on that. Next game.
Lions.
I had mentioned earlier the AFC North is filled of phonies and bad quarterback play. This game that we witnessed today was a just all-time snooze fest. Browns 13, Steelers 10. I'm going to read through the game log from the second half down. Okay. In the second half, the Steelers scored their only touchdown in 2 plays.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a Jalen Warren 75-yard touchdown, right? They had been pretty much stopped, rendered useless up until that point. Then this is the Browns. Browns punt, Steelers punt, Browns punt, Steelers punt, Browns interception, Steelers punt, Browns punt, Steelers field goal, Browns punt, Steelers punt, Browns punt, Steelers punt, Browns field goal to win the game, end of game. I'm so glad.
Exciting football.
Yeah. It was not shown on Red Zone a lot. The defenses were doing what defenses should do versus shitty fucking quarterbacks. Like the Ravens, if Lamar Jackson just stays healthy, like no doubt have the best quarterback in that division. Now, I am allotting the Bengals when I say that all 4 teams might make it. I am saying that the Bengals do have a chance to make the playoffs.
Oh.
I am saying that because Jake Browning isn't necessarily like the worst, and I just need to see a bigger like sample size of him. If Jake Browning comes out next week and is 70% Joe Burrow, that can make you at least a playoff team, and they're on their road to being there. But this game doesn't have anything to do with the Bengals. I'm just showing you. You have Jake Browning, you have Dorian Thompson, you have Kenny Pickett. All 3 of those quarterbacks have the potential of being in the playoffs. Oh my God, are both of these teams going to disappoint their fan bases in the playoffs? You're going to make the playoffs. Everyone's going to be excited. They will proceed to disappoint their fan base in a comically bad fashion. They can't score. None of those 3 teams can score. The only team that can score in that division is the Ravens, and everybody is starting to think a little bit more that the Ravens will make it to the Super Bowl.
Oh.
Somebody told everybody that would happen. Cameron, I'm so glad we didn't get a chance to see this game because of all that shitty play. Let me look up a team stat here really quick. The Steelers were 3 for 14 on third downs. The Browns were 4 for 17 on third downs.
Wow.
Yeah, both teams, the Steelers got 249 yards, the Browns 259 yards. It was just equal garbage. Equal garbage. Yep, and just one big play from the Steelers. If not that big run, like it would have been a 13-3 game.
Oh,
Eesh.
boring.
Very boring. We spent too long talking about boringness. But I just want to let you know, they might make it. And like, that fucking sucks. That's a waste of a game, in my opinion. I like seeing good playoff football.
Yeah.
I don't think those
As we should.
defenses, even if they can keep them in the games, yeah, it's just not going to happen. Like, the offenses are that bad. One day, Red Bull will fucking sponsor, or some energy drink. I have an issue. I'm addicted to energy drinks and nicotine. What about you? I mean, we share addictions and vices.
Yeah, all of them. Caffeine's a big one.
What's your start date?
Start date for caffeine? Oh my gosh. November 23rd, 2002.
That was a good year.
Yeah.
That was a good
No,
year.
I started coffee at a young age.
Fucking love I started Cuban coffee in the 8th grade. I learned how to
There you
make
go.
espresso in like the steel tin. Put that shit on a fucking stove and then just fill up a measuring cup with about entirely diabetic amount of sugar. And I didn't realize at the time why I loved it. You know what I mean? I was just like, oh, this just tastes good. Like, this is just, it's a really good drink. And it's not a lot.
And then you have regular espresso one time. And you're like, what
is this dog shit? Can you please bring me 49 cubes of sugar? I need to see sugar granules because I will then proceed to eat those at the bottom.
Little treat. At the
What a turn this show has taken. Next game of the weekend, another two just disappointing teams. Packers 23, Chargers 20. Jordan Love leads the Packers back in the second half for another come-behind victory at home. It's a good type of magic to have, that come-from-behind stuff, because you need it in Green Bay because you already have such an advantage. What was the one thing that I did this morning before placing my bets entirely too late? I should have placed them on Saturday. I say I'm getting better. People, sometimes I need bets to hit Saturday so I know how much I can bet Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay, I just push around the same $200 for the rest of eternity because I need action. All right, I don't need to keep depositing, but I'm not going to deposit money to put my bets in early for NFL Sunday. It's not going to happen. I'm either going to have a lot of money that I can already spend on it, or I'm waiting on shit on Saturday to hit. Last night, I was waiting on George Russell, the Las Vegas Grand Prix. George Russell, I picked him because he has my name. Fucking lost. All right.
You should have gone with the odds on that one.
If he hits, I immediately place my bets at 11:30 p.m. Saturday night. Not bad.
You should have just put all your money on Verstappen.
He was minus 350.
How much money did you have in your account? Put that
$70.
Put down 70.
Yeah.
Easy turnaround. Easy.
What the fuck do you know about F1?
I know that he's won.
Easy
won the last,
turnaround.
He's won the last 16 out of 18 things, Grand Prix that they've had.
You're gonna start.
Those are pretty fucking good odds.
F1 junkies, you fucking nut. Jeez.
That's all I know.
I was waiting on that to see if I could possibly put the bets in. The reason why I'm bringing this up.
Nice.
That was good. The reason why I was bringing this up is because I do have to be better. And if I don't say it live on air that I will bet possibly earlier in the week, I'll never do it. So I'm putting myself on the spot here. Next week, I will be placing my bets no later than when I find the best line. That's the best answer.
That's a good answer.
That's the best.
Good time to do it.
Hey, Steve, that's a good answer. That's a good answer. Let's look on the board. Wednesdays. Ding. Jordan Love has some late game magic in him. Beautiful. Justin Herbert's a way better runner than he ever uses. Like, what the fuck? Dude's a fucking gazelle. He's tall as shit. His strides are immaculate. He lowers the shoulder a little bit. His finger's been in a fucking brace for a couple of weeks now. You figure the guy would be running more. He led the team in rushing yards today. So,
Wow.
Yeah. It's something that I was like, oh, Justin Herbert, you have this in your bag. It's too bad that every time it's 3rd and 12 and 3rd and 15 and you do have to throw it. Green Bay, another tactical advantage they had today Keenan Allen missed one of the easiest touchdowns.
Oh, yeah.
It just seems like receivers coming across the middle, it's back-to-back, I think 3 weeks in a row. Mike Evans had a really bad touchdown drop. Then you had Nick was texting me all week about, I think it was a Browns receiver that had a drop last week. Fuck, I looked up his name. I forgot it. And then you have this one where it's Keenan Allen coming across the middle. It literally hits him between the 1 and the 3. It could not have been any more textbook of
What does that mean? Oh, like a
his
clock
number. His number.
Oh.
He's number 13. Yeah, hit him right between the 1 and the 3. What does that mean? That's his number.
When the announcer said that when we were watching the game, I was like, what does that mean? Is that like a clock between the 1 and the 3? That makes more sense, though. I didn't even notice that.
I'm glad. You're learning so much this year.
Wow.
You're learning a tremendous
Learning
amount.
something new every
And
day.
you're not ashamed to say that you don't know. And that's the biggest thing, Karen. So I'm very proud of
You're
you.
not ashamed to ask stupid questions. That's great.
That's good.
That's good.
I love that. That's how we get the women audience to listen to this. Okay? We bring light humor to them. Eventually, they will just love the game more than their husbands do. Yeah. Put action on it. Ladies, come on now. Wow, the Chargers are on the verge of, in my opinion, shaking a lot of shit up.
Whoa.
I don't think that this little core that they've built that they thought they can win Super Bowls with is going to be around. Definitely not by the end of the year, but it'll be interesting to see if they make a move away from Brandon Staley before the year ends. I don't think so. But in a year where they literally just need to be average, and they can't be average.
Ooh.
And I know Green Bay is a tough place to play at. Headed in late into November and then early December, extremely tough place to play at, but fuck. You got to win these type of games. And you can't let Jordan Love come back on you. Okay? He's not proven himself. Came back on the Saints. They suck. Chargers also suck. So it's really not that. I'm not saying a lot about Jordan Love, but he has it in him, which is important. Next game. Texans 21, Cardinals 16. Wow. CJ Stroud is so good. 256 passing yards in the first half. Scott Hansen, the NFL red zone guy, just loves CJ Stroud the same way that I do. And I think everybody's starting to. CJ Stroud took one of the hardest sacks of the day in the third quarter. He got fucking just boom. Comes out for a play after being very discombobulated. The very following play that he comes back in, he was out for second down. He comes in, it's 3rd and 17. Dots up a receiver, Tank Dell for the first down. And I was like, God damn. This kid is tough as fuck. I'm so glad that Houston Texans were able to get him and not the Panthers, because something tells me this wouldn't have been happening with the Panthers. Something just tells me. Houston has a very good chance of shaking up the playoff situations that I've laid out. Like I said, plenty of teams are in the hunt or in the wild card hunt. Raiders, we'll talk about them in a little bit here. But the Houston Texans have permanently solidified, if the playoffs were to start today, they would be in the wild card. So, CJ Stroud, how good are you, kid? You go on a big run here at the end of the year. You go into the playoff with some momentum. Could you lead your team to the Super Bowl? And this will be one of the all-time holy shit. The Houston or the Texas Rangers, haven't won a World Series ever. They go and win the World Series that same year. I know it's Houston, but it's Texas. The Houston Texans go to the Super Bowl? I don't know.
Have they ever won the Super Bowl before?
It's a very good question. I don't think they have. Have the Texans won Super Bowl? Wow. How many have yet to reach the Super Bowl? Yeah, they've never even been to the game.
Wow.
They've just watched it on TV like the rest of us. Very interesting stat there. But yeah, they could do it. I think CJ Stroud can definitely lead them to do it. Kyler Murray had ample opportunities today to put his team into winning positions. He failed to do so. Kyler Murray, I'm over it. I don't think he's that good of a quarterback. I think there was a play that I saw where he was running. They eventually scored a touchdown, right? But Kyler Murray, the way he maneuvers around, he's so small. He's like fragile. Very fragile. If he gets hit hard, which he did today, and you see the way that he just like the defender doesn't need to be that big. As long as they're running into Kyler Murray, he fucking hits the ground like one of those little rubber balls that just bounce back up. Kyler Murray will get injured very, very soon. Doesn't look the same as Justin Herbert when he runs the ball, or Josh Allen when he runs the ball. They got a little bit of meat to him. Trevor Lawrence when he runs the ball. When Kyler Murray runs the ball, it's like, wow, yeesh. Be careful. Slide. You played baseball a lot. Like, why? Yeah, I get it, but you can't. You know what I mean? And if he's in that mindset, he's, not good. Not good. They definitely had a chance. Jaguars, 34. Titans, 14. Titans are frauds. Straight up fraudulent. The Jaguars were 6.5-point favorites at home. Cameron at the same time. 3, 2, 1. Some spread. Ready? One more time. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Some spread. Oh my God.
I was thinking, what a
juicy. Juicy. Whoa. When I saw this line, in a week where there was a lot of big favorites for the Jaguars, okay, listen, I know they got embarrassed last week by the 49ers. You're giving the fucking Jaguars 6.5 points at home against the Titans who are tanking. What? The Titans' only meaningful touchdown was a fucking triple reverse flea flicker in which DeAndre Hopkins was so open. Good pass by Will Levis, but it's like, you guys need a triple reverse flea flicker to score touchdowns in the league? They're tanking. They are fucking tanking. Derrick Henry, I traded him off my fantasy team. I hope that the rest of the year he gets nice and healthy and he gets traded. I don't think it's going to work out for him there anymore. He needs a new scenery. He needs also another running back, Tajay Spears, to just be like a really good 1-2 combination. Tajay Spears is not that good. And the Titans are just so bad. Listen to this. I just now remembered how they scored their other touchdown. They put their defensive lineman at fullback, and they had him run a flat route. He scored a touchdown, Jeffrey Simmons. So it's like they're only 2 touchdowns today came off of razzle-dazzle shit. 6.5 points. Some spread. Very bad. Cameron. Mm-hmm. This over-under spread killed you. Dolphins 20, Raiders 13. I will start with this. The Dolphins need to do a better job of putting Tua in situations where play action works in his favor. Too many times I see Tua in drop-back situations where unless Tyreek Hill, which it happens often, gets wide the fuck open, you're making him like throw the ball in uncomfortable spots. You can incorporate play action as long as you start running the ball a little more effectively. That's my gripe with the Dolphins. If they can figure that out, take pressure off of Tua, you can see a lot of success. And this team is fast as shit. They have plenty of plays in which you don't need to make Tua be a 3-step drop back passer from the shotgun and dice you up. I don't think that's the best version of Tua. I think Tua works better in a lot more RPO type style plays or in plays which he is going off of play action. That being said, the Raiders can make the playoffs. They proved it this week. The 10.5 point spread, which was on Monday, The line closed at Raiders 14-point dogs. Give me a 14-point dog any fucking day of the week. And I still tease them up because I just put my teaser parlays in, which hit 2 of them this morning. Or I hit one. Hit one. I put 2 in. I almost hit a second one. I'll go over that fucking bad beat in this next game. Cameron, this is going to be back-to-back bad beats for us. What did you need in this game?
Okay, so I had a 8-leg teaser parlay, and it missed by 1. I needed the Dolphins and the Raiders to get at least 38.5 points, and they didn't. If the Raiders would have got a touchdown there at the end, I would have won. I would have had money in my account. Oh, bad beat. Bad beat. Got intercepted.
Yeah.
I hate when that happens.
It was a pretty bad interception too. Right off the guy's hands into the defender's hands.
Aren't they all bad?
Yeah, but some I attribute to like more skill. Like that one was, if I remember correctly, it bounced off the dude's hands straight into the defender's hands. Yeah,
Something like that.
Yeah, and they were in position, like they were putting themselves in position to potentially score there at the end. The Dolphins, they get it done. They needed to get this one done, or else everybody in the AFC would be looking at them and Buffalo as like
fraud.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth, but I'll come up with another one. Phonies. Phonies. They're phonies.
You're a big fat phony.
The fucking Commanders suck. Oh, fuck me. I had a goddamn teaser in which I took the under. I teased it 6 points up. It was at 38.5. I teased it to 44.5. This game, oh my God, was 24-19, which puts the total at 43 points, right? The Commanders have the ball late. They're driving down the field. They need a touchdown. So I know they're not going to settle for a fucking field goal and then it goes over like by 2 points. So I know if the Commanders score, I'm fucked. I didn't think they were going to score. The one thing I did not think of, though, is that Sam Howell would be in the pocket. A little bit of pressure comes. Sam Howell throws the ball, trying to get it out of bounds. Well short, pick 6. I'm watching a pick 6 happen. As in my head, I literally did the worst thing you could do as a sports bettor. I was counting my motherfucking chips before they were in the account. Oh, wow. I would have had 2 4-leg teasers hit this morning. That was the only leg that didn't hit in the first one that I put in, and woof. Yours was an 8-leg teaser. That blows. Blows.
Oh, it blows.
But mine, it's not even on the radar. Yours was like, okay, I need a touchdown here. It was the same situation. Do the Dolphins, if they get an interception there, do they take a knee?
No. Pick 6. I would hope so.
Yeah. Well, you should have fucking took my bet instead of that one because, all right, the Giants haven't won. And this is the thing, Cameron. This is the thing. Had the Giants been a winning football team beforehand and they were by the book, they may intercept the pass and take a knee. They may do that because they've been there. They've won games. The Giants haven't won shit this year. So when the Giants intercepted it, they were like, oh, fucking, we're going to smoke cigars in the locker room after this one. Mm-hmm. God, the Commanders suck. Sam Howell, everyone is giving you the stamp of approval, but you have officially lost mine, you motherfucker. Fuck. Oh, Ron Rivera, he will be fired before the season ends.
You think?
Without a doubt. Ron Rivera might be fired on Monday. I did a bad job of predicting that one with the Josh McDaniels and the Raiders. I said it was coming, right? I had prefaced it 2 weeks in a row. This is the next one. It could quite possibly be happening as we speak. It is currently 9:54 p.m. They were playing in Washington. Yeah. It could have already happened, and we'll just find out tomorrow. But shit, we'll see. That's spicy if it does. He's done, dude. You can't lose to the fucking Giants like that.
Yeah.
Done. Everybody knew he was done beforehand. But it's just like expedite the process, guys. What are we doing? On to the afternoon slate. Afternoon slate this week did not necessarily have too many games that made me go, ooh, that tickles my fancy. We kind of knew where the 49ers Buccaneers game was going, and it's exactly where it went. 49ers 27, Buccaneers 14. Wow, the Red Bull is giving me the burpees today. The 49ers, they're back in contention spot. I missed putting the bet in on them to make the playoffs when they were on their losing skid. There was a week 8, where the Seahawks were 5-2, and the 49ers were in second place in that NFC West division. And I was like, I was hoping for one more week of them losing and the Seahawks winning, and then that number would have gotten to that juicy spot that I wanted it, but it didn't happen, and I should have put the bet in then for the 49ers to make the Super Bowl, because I do kind of want to hedge, and if I hedge with any team, I'm going to hedge with the team that has the best player in the league. Everybody has been saying it. I get a lot of shit for saying this because nobody puts respect on it. The best player on the 49ers is Trent Williams. Period. Point blank. End of story. Without him, that team does not make it to the Super Bowl. He may or may not be more important than the quarterback. Stamp it. Left tackle. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk? Left tackle. Best player in the league. This guy.
Oh.
I put respect on Trent's name. And I really do like where the 49ers are headed. The Buccaneers, they could squeak in. This fucking NFC South is a pigsty of just, slop. Falcons, Saints, Buccaneers, Panthers, who gives a fuck? Next game, Bills 32, Jets 6. This is a prime example of what it means to have a good offensive line. So just following up on exactly what I said, Trent Williams, most important player on the 49ers being that left tackle. The right tackle for the Jets was getting embarrassed all night long. Poor guy was getting fucking picked on. He got beat on every play that I watched. He legitimately was just getting outran just by pure speed. Then when the defenders decided to like engage him, Mans was fucking hopping back like, whoa, like, hold on. And when it wasn't that, and he kind of got like, hand fought, he would fucking fall forward. Poor Zach Wilson. Aaron Rodgers, you do not want to come back to this. You will fuck it. I don't see the point. I don't see why Aaron Rodgers is even entertaining such nonsensical
you can come back and then just lead him
bullshit.
Lead him to the Super Bowl.
Well, this was a prime example of a Bills team that honestly, they did exactly what Georgie told them to do last week. I said, guys, run the fucking ball. Stop it with this Josh Allen has to do everything bullshit. For the love of God, if you don't establish the run, you guys will continue to lose every fucking week. And what did they do this week? They established the run. Mm-hmm. Is it the most effective run game? No. But it fucking opens up a plethora of options. I've said this now about the Dolphins, and now I've also said this about the Bills. They got to do it. All that being said, the Jets only getting 6 points is not surprising, but they need to start really trusting Zach Wilson in opening up the playbook to him running a little bit more. Like, I think that when your run game is slow establishing, You have a mediocre offensive line. You got to find creative, crafty ways when teams are bringing pressures at you for your quarterback to get loose with it. Like, I know he has the ability to run. I saw it all the time at BYU, but it's like I see none of it with this offense, and it's possibly just Nathaniel Hackett just taking the L, and it's tough. They took the L 4 minutes into the NFL season, and they're competitive. That defense is still extremely fucking good, but the defense was consistently on the field today, and they got kind of like put on a little bit. To get 32 points put on you when you think like you're a good defense, never a good sign. Even when you're on the field a lot, you take a lot of pride in fucking stopping people. They didn't. This next game that we are going to discuss is a game that I wish I would have watched. Instead, I just have to read the fucking box score to you. This game is the Rams 17, Seahawks 16. If I had to guess, Cameron, I'm guessing Rams kick a late game field goal to win the game. That's what I'm thinking. Did I predict it correctly? It's just taking me fucking forever to find this. Let's see here.
Rams Seahawks. We'll go.
Let's go play by play. I'm just going to read off every play of the game. Okay, so the game started off with an opening kickoff. Never mind. Let's go all the way down.
It was a field goal at the end.
Holy guacamole! A lot happened here with a little bit of time left. So all game long, the Seahawks were up, and then the Rams scored a touchdown with 4 minutes 45 seconds left to go in the third. Oh no! With 12 minutes left to go. And then they got an interception. Then they kicked a field goal to go ahead. And then the Seahawks had the opportunity to win the game, and they fucked it up because they're frauds. I wish I would have known more about this game, but I'm going to skip over it. There's not even a hot take I have. I know I've said Seahawks are frauds, but I guess the one thing I can hit is Matthew Stafford, if everything is going good for the Rams, meaning Cooper Kupp's healthy, they get a running back that is steady, they get another solid offensive line piece, I think they can make a run to the Super Bowl again in the coming years. I think Sean McVay is that good of a coach. I just think that offensive line for the Rams is another one that is up there in the league of just not that good. They lost a lot of pieces. Their defense is very young, but is starting to find a rhythm. Matt Stafford is very, very capable of leading his team to another Super Bowl run. I'm not worried about that whatsoever. That's my take from that game. On to the Sunday night football game. Broncos 21, Vikings 20. Josh Dobbs, the story keeps getting better. The man was an astronaut a couple of summers ago. He is a calculus whiz. He is aerodynamic enough because of his lack of eyebrows to fly through space a lot better than other humans. People are calling him the Pastronaut. I don't necessarily.
Why?
Because he's an astronaut.
Where's the pastor come from?
He's a quarterback.
Oh.
Pastronaut. He's a pastronaut. So
funny.
The Pastronaut tonight kind of got put under contain. The Broncos caused a shit ton of turnovers. They put Russell Wilson in a position to lead a game-winning drive at home. These are the moments that matter the most to a team that has lost a city's hope. When you see them beat a team that is on a hot streak, the Vikings, if they would have won this game, would have won 6 games in a row. They came in winning on a 5-game win streak. You want to be the team that upsets that team. Your quarterback that you paid a shit ton of money, you want to see him perform in the fourth quarter like Jordan Love. He did that. They scored a big touchdown late. That defense continue to cause turnovers all game. The Broncos, it's not their year this year, but I think they put too much pressure and expectation on year one. And when year one didn't work out, then year two, which, by the way, completely new coach. So is this really just year one again that they did put a lot of expectation on? Next year, I think the Broncos will be pretty legit. I think they have the offensive pieces growing around Russell Wilson now in a Sean Payton system where they're going to get a fuck ton of production and targets, and they're good. The only shitty thing is Russell Wilson sometimes is not that good. But neither here nor there. They get the job taken care of tonight. That takes us into Monday Night Football. Eagles, they are 2.5-point underdogs going into Arrowhead Stadium.
Oh.
Cameron, tell me what you're thinking on this one right off rip. You always pick a side in the over-under because you're a D-gen. The over-under is set at 45.5.
Ooh, I think I
What are
want
you
to go.
thinking?
I think I'm going with Eagles. Eagles on the over. I love an over. And I need my running back in fantasy, DeAndre Swift, to have an amazing night. So I'm going to bet with that. I'm going to bet with the hopes that he just goes off, the Eagles go off, and
Maybe anytime touchdown scorer, DeAndre Swift?
hopefully maybe 4 touchdowns, ideally.
Oh, my God. I picked this prop bet for him to score 8 touchdowns. I know it's
Because
never happened
I
before,
need
but
him
I'll be
to
a
get me
millionaire.
at least 18 fantasy points.
That's
And
doable.
he has never done that this year.
Oh,
So
that's not doable for him.
that's why I'm saying he needs to have the game of his life. The game of my life.
Game of his life.
The game of his life. He needs to have it.
That's good.
So that's what I'm going.
I
Eagles on the over.
okay, we don't have to match up on the over under. I'm definitely liking the under on this one.
You love unders.
I love an under when the Eagles are playing a team of sustenance and caliber. Because
They're sick.
I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see how Patrick Mahomes deals with that Philly defense. I think this is they were very good last year. I think the Philly defense this year is maybe 2 to 3 times better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just as far as the pressure that they can create with 4 pass rushers, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. This game is going to tell me a lot about what will happen in January. Without a doubt, this is like football fans, you need to study this game because, let's knock on wood, everybody stays healthy. You're going to get a very good, accurate representation of what a playoff form Jalen Hurts looks like for this year. You're going to look at what do the Chiefs really have to offer as far as who is the big receiver? Who is that stud receiver that they need to find? There's like 4 of them. They're all like middle of the pack. Somebody, and this is the type of game where you can identify that, will need to step up. Is it MVS? Is it that they start running the ball a little bit more with Isaiah Pacheco? Who knows? I'm going to take the Eagles, though. I like the Eagles with the points, and I like the under. That's that.
Oh.
That's that. That's that, ladies and gentlemen. That is week 11. The Saints didn't play this week. Thank God. Thank God. They needed a week to reflect on what are we going to do?
What's the game plan?
Do we get rid of Derek Carr now?
Is he still hurt? Or is he coming back?
I think a bye week he will end up being back.
No.
I told him to take his time, but this bye week came at the worst time possible. I needed a week of Jameis Winston like throwing for 550 yards and 6 touchdowns for them to be like,
Maybe we should change things
maybe
up.
we should just let Derek Carr sit on the fucking bench. Be an excellent backup. But it's Jameis's turn. It is time.
There we go.
And that's that. Ladies and gentlemen, Gridiron Junkies, follow it everywhere. Legitimately, follow it everywhere. We're popping off right now in Pakistan. Not even lying.
Interesting.
Pakistani views through the roof. They love American football. No, I made that up. But Cameron,
Really?
they can find you at
Cameron Lee 97 on Instagram. Instagram only. My handle changes everywhere else. But Instagram's the
what
main
is it
thing,
in
so.
Pakistan?
Cameron Lee 97 on Instagram. It's still that.
I didn't even ask that though. In Pakistan, what's your name?
Cameron. Cameron Lee 97. I'm confused with the question you're asking me. They're going through a lot right now. I don't know if they're watching things. There's a lot going on over there. No.
They're watching a lot of football. That's that. Podcast Junkies Network. Follow it everywhere. You're going to see that stinger at the end of the show. Cameron,
my
hit
gosh.
that Podcast Junkies Network stinger. Boom.